Hey, what's up? It's your girl Nique, and you're tuned in to Nique at Night. But before we get started into this topic, I'm gonna need you to hit the subscribe button, okay, and turn on your post notifications so you're notified when I post another video. Now that we got that out the way, let's get into it. Okay, so Fantasia and this whole submission topic has caused quite an uproar on social media with a lot of people feeling away. If you guys don't know what happened, basically Fantasia went on to the Breakfast Club and she had an interview. And while she was on the interview, she revealed that a lot of women are lacking in the relationship area because they failed to submit to their men.
Most women are trying to be the leader. That's why you can't find a man. You can't be the king in the house. You have to learn how to submit. You can still be a queen. Queen plays a part.
Well, a lot of people felt some type of way about that. Like, submit? Whoa, hold up. These men don't even be having it together all the way, and they be tripping over their own goddamn feet, and you want me to follow behind them and trip too? I don't get it. Say what, say, huh? Well, Fantasia and her man decided to describe what type of man you should be submitting to and talk and elaborate on the topic a little bit further. Now, a lot of people felt like submission when they talked about it meant like, oh, she must be giving up her coin to him. He managing all the finances. She just, you know what I'm saying? She just doing whatever he say. He say jump, she say how high. And a lot of people took it as that type of situation. Well, they decided to come forward and clarify what they meant when it talked about submission.
She also revealed how soon they got married and said that they got married 3 weeks after meeting each other and immediately went to the courthouse.
My husband's a felon, but he turned it all around and he owned his own business, right?
Oh. And you know, Fantasia got married. She knew him for 3 weeks, right?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Okay, and so after that, DJ Envy was like, 3 weeks? Like, what about him made you want to marry him in 3 weeks? And she said that she had spent some time in New York. She had fasted all the time because she had so much baggage and so much things that she had to work through. And she made a list of what she wanted in a man. And when she met him, he met everything that was on her list. And, you know, they got together. They had a very good conversation the very first day that they met. And they talked from the night to the morning. And, you know, it just was something different that she wasn't used to. And she elaborated on that. And so in the comment section, when she talked about submission, and then she talked about how he was a felon and how she met him and it was so fast, a lot of people thought that, you know, like, well, he's controlling her, he's dictating what she does, and, you know, he's just with her for the money and all that stuff. But in the interview, she talked about, you know, him wanting a prenup. She doesn't say if they officially got a prenup. All she says is that he suggested it and brung it up. So she tried to make sure that people knew that he wasn't with her for the money. Okay, so after they had so many opinions about it and people weighing in, they decided to make a video and clarify and describe what submission is and how it works and what type of man you should be submitting to. And they gave a really good explanation.
So I'm going to play their video right now, bring it up on the screen, and we're going to get into what they have to say in response to this whole submission topic.
We talk a lot. I just got home. He just got home. We were in New York for Fashion Week, and then he had to fly out to go speak at the prisons, and I had to continue to keep working. So I went up to the Breakfast Club, and I enjoyed it. And
proud of you too.
Thanks, babe. We were just wrapping it up and talking, and I was speaking. Yeah. So when I got back home, he had kind of said something that piggybacked off what I was saying, and I thought it was so dope coming from the male perspective that I felt like the male and the female should hear. So
here's the issue. Submission is supposed to be a beautiful song and dance between two lovers. What's happened is men have abused that power. Forgive me, they've abused that gift. And we have been misled to think that it's something where it's a dominant spirit and we own every decision, we dictate everything, we rule with an iron fist. First of all, that's not love.
Okay, sorry to pause him, but y'all know how I go. I got to put in a break somewhere. But basically what he's saying, and I agree, a lot of men have abused the whole submission thing. They are treating it wrong, and they are not doing what they are supposed to do. And a lot of women are being rebellious because it's like, you want me to submit, but you ain't even doing what you got to do. They be out here cheating, out here not taking care of the household, but then want their woman to submit, cook, and clean and be loyal to them while they being loyal to themselves and satisfying, all types of needs of the flesh, out there cheating, doing all kind of crap. And it just don't work like that. Wanting their cake and eating it too. I just got to put a pause in there and just give y'all an unnecessary summary. But it is what it is.
What happens is, in my marriage, let me not speak for everybody, my marriage, I submit daily to the Most High. I stay in my scriptures. I continue to feed myself with things that help me build, to reshape my perspective that was messed up in the streets and dealing with different propaganda and programming and things like that, so that I can come to my wife from a pure position. So when I do that and she sees me and she witnesses over time that it's an authentic demonstration, her heart is moved and softened and compelled to submit to me. Yeah. What does that look like? That doesn't mean that I dictate every decision. I don't walk around the house saying what we're going to spend, how we're going to do it. We talk and we build. And I consider everything that's on her heart, her perspective, her position, her philosophy. I'll carefully weave that into my philosophy to figure out what's the best move for this family, keeping all of that in mind. Now, the moment I start to step outside of righteousness and I start to move from a place of emotion instead of analytics, she has every right to snatch that back, because submission is a gift. When she sees me laying at the foot of the Father, she has no reason to withhold that from me. The problem is this: men are not found in positions of leadership handling it with integrity. How you gonna lead your wife if you can't balance a checkbook? If you don't know what's going on in the stock market?
And a lot of dudes be mama's boys and wanting other mother figures in a woman and wanting women to take care of them. I be seeing so many dudes living off of women, wanting women to take care of them. Dude, you don't have a period. You don't have a pregnancy. Boss the F up and lead the household. There is not a lot of that. So, guys need to get it together.
You don't have a sound understanding of the finances. You can't create a budget. You don't understand what's going on in the educational system in your community that's impacting your kids. In order to lead, you got to be so far ahead of your family that by the time they come to you with a situation or a problem, you've already dived into it, done your due diligence so that you can give leadership. You don't lead from your genitals. You lead from a gentle place of understanding. And the more she trusts, the more she can let go of things that she don't have to deal with and focus on the things that edify her. It ain't about money. We both hustlers. It's not about a dollar for dollar thing, because we're one unit. Yeah. If I fall, she falls. If she falls, I fall. Submission is solely about trust.
Yeah. I think when women hear the word submission, we're like, what? Submitting. With my husband, like he said, to piggyback off what he just said, it was what he...
That's how I am too. Submit to what? Motherfucker, I go do me. But I mean, I feel what he's saying. I feel like he is talking some real stuff. However, it's such a fine line these days, because guys will have the good gift of gab, and he is selling this whole submission thing. It sounds good, and that's how it should be in essence, but then you have some guys who will sell you this whole submission dream. Listen, baby, I'm submitted to the Most High. I'm where I need to be spiritually. I can lead you. I got the path. But they be on BS, and it be just that, just all talk, and they don't be walking what they walk. So if he's preaching this and he's actually also walking what he walks as well, that's a beautiful thing, and they have a beautiful thing going. But a lot of times, these guys be saying what sounds good, but they don't be following or practicing what they preach sometimes. Not saying that's their situation. They seem to be good. I have not heard any scandals, any BS, or any drama between them. It seems like a pretty unproblematic situation, or they know how to keep their issues to themselves, But yes, a lot of times guys be selling wolf tickets too. So, you got to beware of the guys who, and not saying him, this is, I'm just saying for the ladies, just because a guy is saying what sounds good, make sure his make sure his actions match his words. Now, Fantasia's with him, so she's able to, figure out if his actions match his words, So don't just let people sell your dream either, ladies. Beware of that. But let them continue.
Demonstrated. You know what I mean? Submitting with my husband, like he said, to piggyback off what he just said, it was what he demonstrated. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't come in and say, all right,
actions.
Like he said, the budget is this for that, this is and the third. I watched how he did things. I watched how he budgeted. I watched him, and then I slowly became him, and I submitted in it. Yeah, now I think I'm more frugal than him, and that's not even being like gotta be frugal because we don't have it. It's just being smart. And the word, if you dig deep in the word with your partner, you'll start to see a lot of things that we're talking about. But yeah, I like that he broke that down because I'm a very strong woman. I like what I like. I'm very strong. But when it comes to allowing him to cover and lead this home, I sit back and allow him to do that, and it makes me better. Wow, that like.
Lead by example.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you want your wife to be humble, walk in humility. If you want your wife to forgive, you be quick to forgive. If you want your wife to consider, following you down a specific path, prove to her that you got the blueprint and that she's not following you to some unknown destination. My wife don't have to follow anything that she don't see me demonstrating.
Mm-hmm.
So master the thing before you go out and try to teach it. It's like sometimes you see cats, as soon as they get a book and they read something, they start running trying to teach people on it, but you haven't applied it and gone through the proving grounds of being able to master that information yourself. So leadership is a forward-thinking thing. And when you do that, women's natural instinct is going to be to trust, to be able to submit their hearts. But again, this ain't a dominant thing.
Nah.
And I want my wife cold as me because if something ever happens to me, she don't like having
He
that
always
conversation.
say that.
If something ever happens to me, she need to know how to get that bag. She need to understand where the money's at. She need to know how to ask the right questions. I ain't telling you to ask nobody nothing. You tell them what belongs to you. She can't do that if I'm controlling everything. So my wife needs to be a direct female reflection of the man that I am. Facts.
Come on now.
You come on.
I always said the wise woman once told me, the older women used to tell me, stop.
Look at you looking at her.
Is the woman is
Nasty.
the neck and the man is the head. And without the neck, the head can't move.
Two heads is just a head, but see how that works. See how that works.
So yeah. And I'm gonna end it with this. We ain't perfect. We ain't trying to be perfect. We still growing. And we just want to share that with all those out there that's still growing and want.
And get clarity. Don't be trying to twist my wife's words up at the end of the day because I'm proud of her for standing.
They try to do that?
And whatever to them. At the end of the day, we want to make sure there's clarity to what she said and the understanding and be able to hear the force behind what she is saying so it don't get tangled and twisted. It ain't for everybody. Do your thing. But for women out there who truly desire that and men who want to step up to the call, we just want to take time out, make sure we bring clarity to our demonstration and hope that it's fruit for you and your lives. And watch how God bless. Straight like that.
Okay, and that's that on that. I want to know what you guys think. And again, I think that they said some really good things, and I feel like that's how it should be. Like, if you are leading by example, or you showing me, and you're showing me what a leader is, you're showing me that, you have a clear direction and a clear path that you want to go, and you can team up and make this whole dream or relationship or whatever journey path you're going in better with each other, then that's great. But like I said, a lot of times guys don't be having it together. They don't have a clear direction, clear path. They don't know how to be a leader. A lot of these guys are trying to follow suit and keep up with the Joneses on Instagram, trying to do what the next is doing. They too busy following behind these rappers' images and these other people's images that how they gonna lead somebody and they can't even lead themselves or have a direction for themselves. So kudos to the men who are men, and they can lead a household. They can be your protector and your provider, and you can also be a provider in your home as well as a woman. But he has that role to lead, and you guys both together make each other better. Now that sounds like an ideal situation to me, okay? But oftentimes, like, girls like myself, I'm independent. I take care of myself. I pay my own bills. I don't need a guy to take care of me. It becomes a little bit harder for women like me because at the end of the day, it's like I can take care of myself, and
And being a go-getter, somebody who, you know, I can go get it on my own. I don't have to lean on somebody for that support. When a guy comes in, I will admit it is a little hard because sometimes if you are in a better position than them, not saying that you can't work with somebody who's below you or work to get better or on the same page. But sometimes, you know, it's like, you know, you have a clear goal in mind for your life and a clear direction and it's working. You're managing yourself, you're living, you're thriving. And then you have a man who comes in and it's like you supposed to lead, but you don't even have a clear direction of where you're going, you know, so it is kind of hard. I feel like it would be easier if men were more manly and did what they demonstrated in this video or whatever. We talk about, you know, down low men, gay men, and this is no shot to the LGBT community because they make everything about that. But I'm talking about men, like straight men. There are a lot of men who are straight who display a lot of feminine ways and act like women. Like, I wish we can get to a point where men act like men and boss the F up. Like, you have men who act more like women than women do. And I know by me saying that, there's definitely going to be a lot of people triggered. Men don't have to be masculine. Oh my God, people need to get rid of this toxic masculinity and men don't have to be that way. They can be feminine. They could be this. They can be that. And yes, they can. For my man, I want a manly man. That's just me, and that is okay. I prefer for myself, let me clarify, because I did kind of say men need to be men. Let me clarify, because I know there's going to be somebody that's triggered. I prefer my man to the guy that I'm dating to be a manly man and not a feminine man, and somebody who can boss up and lead and have a clear direction and where they want to go. They don't have to have it all together. They can still be building, but building towards that direction and have a clear path in which they can go so that you can lead me. Because how you don't know which way to go, you know? But anyways.
And so while Fantasia is saying that, you know, she is all down with the submission thing and she's ready to submit, K. Michelle, on the other hand, did a radio interview and she feels, however, that men are not good people. I'm going to play her interview, a little snippet of it, and then I will be back.
I don't think men are good people. The reason for that is, like, for men to do things that they consider small in the flesh of, like, cheating, you know that that's going to destroy your partner, but you do it anyway.
And then after that, she goes on to say that cheating is not a mistake and that, you know, we've seen this thing happen over and over and over again, and how men feel like a woman is supposed to just accept their betrayal and be okay with it. And she says she ain't riding or dying for nobody. Like, if you do me wrong, like, I'm not going to sit back. In so many words, that's what she's saying. Like, if you do me wrong, I'm not going to sit back and just be loyal to you. And that's kind of goes to my point in the beginning of the video where I said, you know, I agree that there are men who they abuse the whole submission thing or women being loyal to them thing because they're not being loyal to women in the beginning. So you have the flip side of both sides of the coins. You have men who will step up, but then you have a larger amount of men who abuse that right for a woman to want to be loyal to them.
Because you're taking advantage of my love for you, and I'm supposed to just be the one behind you riding or dying. I'm not dying with nobody. And a lot of times men, the wrong man, will stunt your growth as a woman. Women could be doctors, lawyers, and everything, but they're in the bed crying over what a man did to them.
Which she's speaking facts. Fantasia and her husband were speaking facts as to men who are leaders and how the role should be. And K. Michelle is also speaking facts when she talks about the large amount of men who betray women's trust, but then they expect loyalty in return. So I wanted to show both sides and get you guys' perspective.
I want to know what you guys think about that. Let's talk about it down below. I want to know what you think about Fantasia and her husband, and I want to know what you think about K. Michelle and her comments. Let's talk about it down below. And don't forget to follow me on all of my social media. Okay, it's on the screen. And make sure to turn on your post notifications so you are notified whenever I post a video on any of these platforms. Okay, leave your comments down below. All right, guys, peace. Oh, and share my videos. Okay, share them too. All right, guys.